How's it going, people? Thanks very much for joining with our videos. This is a special podcast with the Team Bubba core members, Lazar and Barry, and of course me, Stevie. How's it going, guys?
Hello, Stevie. Baz.
Hey, old mate. All right, boys.
It's been a while from doing one of these.
Yeah, too long.
a bit rusty.
Bit rusty. Well, yeah, so me and you did one a little while back, didn't we, Baz? But the actual lads getting together and doing one's been a while. So the one of the main reasons why we thought would be a good time for us to do a podcast now with the core members is we believe it's come to that time where we don't need to make any more videos. And the reason when I say no videos, it'll be the videos that I put out on a regular basis, which has been maybe 2 to 3 or 4, maybe a month. And the reason for that is that there's enough information out there now that we've covered, not just with our videos, but also if people was to look through our Facebook and Twitter accounts, social media, you'll see there's a plethora of information there that it's been going on well before I joined. And also we've all got our own private lives and we're all doing good things in life, you know, outside of Team Bubba. So it was just to get the message out there and for people to, you know, understand what these grifters are doing, and they're pulling the wool over their eyes. And I think we can't really, we got so much information, you know, files stacked of information. We could keep going on and on, but I just don't think it's going to wake people up any more than what we've already done. What do you guys think?
Well, for me, it's just like a never-ending circle, innit? You're just going round and round, and all she's doing is going through like people she's conning. People might take a year, 18 months to wake up, and then they jump off, and then a whole load of new ones jump on. And it's just a never-ending cycle. And all she's doing is repeating the same old rubbish, but dressing up a little bit differently. But it's the same old crap, really. And that's all she's doing. And to be fair, I think me and Baz stepped back a while ago, probably for that reason. I don't think we sort of thought we could do any more than we have. But you've took the baton on and just gone crazy, Steve, and really ripped them. You have really totally ripped them. And there's no way, you know, the stuff you put out there's no way anyone can really argue against it, because it's so obvious now she is a con artist. You can't, I honestly don't know how people can't see it.
You've got to be a bit thick.
Stuck in there. Huh? Sorry, Baz?
You've got to be a bit thick, I think, to actually think. A bit stupid to think that what she's doing is right and what she's saying is the truth, and there is all of this hope there when there isn't, because she's just drifting.
I think the people who have been in there 5, 6, 7 years, they are definitely dumb. I mean, they are dumber than the dumbest animal on the planet, aren't they? Let's be honest, they've got to be. But I can sort of understand people who are sucked in, especially with what's gone on in the last 3 years. They've come out and they've realised the world is nothing like they've thought it was, the whole of their lives. And they're suddenly thrown into a situation where they're, you know, they need to find that life raft. They need to cling on to something to give them hope to go forward. And along come Kim.
Yeah.
And that's what she plans. So I can sort of understand why people like that fall for it and go along with it for a while. But those who are still hanging on there a year after, when they've got all this evidence to prove.
That's the thing for me. That's the thing for me. There's when we first got into the tiny Thomas Williams stuff, there was nobody that had done what we'd done. Nobody. So we had to figure it all out ourselves. If we'd have had this sort of platform to look at all this information, when we first started out with Tiny, we'd have looked at it, maybe given him a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Looked at all the evidence, looked at what everybody's saying about him, what a group are saying about him, like what we're saying about Kim. What they should do is look at what we're saying. All right, go and listen. I'm not saying do never listen to her. Never listen to her, because if you don't listen to her in the beginning, you will fall for every other grifter. I think they've got to understand that they are all of the same ilk. They're all doing the same thing, but with a different tilt on it. They're using the same information. They're dressing it up a little bit differently. Kim's probably honed it better than a lot of people. I think she's got more of a following worldwide than the likes of. Do you know what? I can't even remember the names of these people anymore, because I just do not bother with them anymore. None of them.
I mean,
Charlie Ward, for instance.
Is Simon Park still around?
Exactly.
I've not seen any of his stuff for years.
He's still around. Yeah, I've not been keeping tabs on it, but I'm in one of his Telegram groups, and it hasn't changed much in there with the following. There's still a lot of people believing what he's saying. It
seems to me the last couple of years, all these grifters are all put themselves behind paywalls.
Yeah.
Whereas before COVID, they were all sort of out there, and I think COVID has sort of given them the confidence that people will literally believe anything. So let's put up a paywall. People will pay to get behind it.
Yeah, they're desperate for information.
Before Team Bubba. Yeah,
well, if you think about a lot of the people that kind of like us, you kind of look at it as like critical thinkers, the ones that want to investigate things. And just like what you touched on earlier on, Baz, about we didn't have this sort of information around before. Now, you know my story. I only woke up because of Thomas Williams making fun of Team Bubba about what you do in your basement there, Baz, or your mum's basement. I just thought, I'm going to check them out and have a look. And I thought, I started looking at some of the things in Team Bubba Facebook page, and I thought, there's something here. It clicks with me. I think I've had little doubts anyway about Thomas Williams, what he's been saying. And I just thought, this really does make sense. There's something not quite right, what Thomas Williams is saying. And then I realised what grifters do. They mock people that are calling them out to stop you from going anywhere near them. And of course, Kim took it to an extreme with the pedophilia stuff, as everybody knows. But even today, there's still not any groups out there that are calling Kim out and Thomas Williams like Team Bubba. Even today, and we're small fry. And even though our figures are really small, no matter what people say, you're probably looking on average 500 to 600 views maybe per video. It still hurts her enough to say things about us still on her channel, considering she's got thousands of subscribers. But yeah, you're right. There are the likes of like Simon Parks. I mean, Kim brought it up the other day of that George Iceman. She was on his show, and he puts it live on YouTube, and then straight after he deletes it and puts it on his paywall. So if you want to see any of that show, you have to pay. Even Kim doesn't see any of that. So they all do it. And it's just come to a stage now where people, it's too obvious now. And her stories are so far-fetched, more than what she said right from the day one. And because it's there on her channel and people can go back and watch her situation reports, and if there was to make note of them, they would see that it's the same script that changed the names and a little bit of spin here and there. That's all she does. And that's all what Thomas Williams has done. and it could go on forever and ever. And that's why it made me feel that I think we've gone as far as we can with the videos. I mean, you're right. When you guys start to step back, I just thought there's still a little bit of the story that people don't know, like the other associates and everything else. Even though you guys have always been there supporting the whole thing, there's people out there thinking there's only one man doing that. So that Stevie's, they even still think Stevie is either David Ray or Barry Bigham. Honestly, that's how gullible people are. They think I am, even though we speak differently, they think I'm really good at accents or something. That's they still say we know you're David Ray. How's it in Maryland and all that stuff? I think, oh my God, what's wrong with people?
See, this is the problem. We would never ever take this to a point where everybody wakes up to it. It's never going to happen. I really believe if Kim was to come out and actually admit everything was a lie, been lying to you from day one, Team Bubba and nothing like what I've said they are, it's all been a lie, there will still be those core members who are absolutely so brainwashed by it that they won't believe her. They will think, that she's been corrupted. That's not the right. That's not the real Kim.
That's a clone of Kim. It's a clone of Kim.
You will never ever defeat it. The only way this is ever got to get defeated is if she goes back into that mental hospital and lock her up, because I mean the stuff she's coming out with now. Oh, I mean, what has she got to say for them to get it? Really? I mean, what even has she got to come out with?
Even if we look at the big finale, I mean, we must admit right now that we're recording this video before the finale's gone out, which this video that you're watching now will go out on the 1st of January. The Team Bubba finale video on Kim regarding her 120,000 source angels, etc., is going to be out on the 31st of January. But even if you look at some of the bits she's come out with, let me just read a couple off here, right? So she said 120,000. She started off saying fallen angels have come down to help her out. Then she's changed it to sources angels. Now they've took out 800,000 bad guys in 48 hours. Now, today
we would be top of the list. Why are we
Exactly. Because what worse crime could you do on this planet than what she's accused us of doing? There's no other. You say we've be gone now, and this is proof that she's
that one thing is absolute proof she is a con artist.
Yeah,
she's a grifter. She's made all these claims about us, and like you said a few minutes ago, we're the only group who's ever gone after her, like, full on. She would love to get rid of us. So first, when them 120,000 come down, they would say to her, right, Kim, what's our first target? Who would it be? Team Bubba. Can you please just pay them a visit and take them out, please?
Yeah, it'd be like that Scrooge movie, wouldn't it? The Ghost of Christmas Spirit or something. Come and visit you. Who's Scrooge?
We've just been like that annoying little fly.
Yeah, exactly.
That annoying little fly swatting round her head all the time, just will not go away. We would be the first one she took out. The first ones. So that proves alone that is absolute bollocks.
Can you see
bollocks?
I mean, after this was 15th of November, right? So that's a while ago. Can you still see bad people on TV doing bad things, or in governments and stuff like that?
Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. And it won't change. People, it will not change. Oh dear.
She said that these angels and the coalition, that's another one that's on her side, are replacing bad members of the media and anchor people so that real news will be put out. So why bother tuning into Kim's United News Network if now these angels have come in, and so everything that goes out on our air, like CNN or Sky News, should be legitimate news now. So you don't need to listen to Kim anymore. And also, she said these angels and coalition are going to take over the board members of bad corporations that poison our foods. So all our food's good now then. We don't have to worry about drinking bad water because it's good. You don't need to worry about eating meat that's in a lab anymore. As I showed earlier on. With a heartbeat on a piece of meat. It's all been taken care for us now. So we'll sit back now and just relax, sit on a deck chair and get the sun. That's how it sounds like.
One of the first things she'd do, right? Again, once they took Team Bubba out, the second on the hit list would be like CNN, the headquarters of CNN, Fox News, Sky News, the BBC, all the big television stations, all the big media stations. So, right, I want you to take all them guys out so we can get on air and reveal to the world what's really going on and that the good guys are back in charge. Well, that's the first thing you'd do, isn't it? You'd probably come on, Kim, you should prioritise that over taking Team Bubba out, but she probably would take us out first. So why hasn't she done that? Come on, think about it, guys. Why hasn't she done it? Think about it. For those who still believe her, why hasn't she done it?
And if she did do it, what would be the first image you'd see come up? Would be her, wouldn't it? Hi, I'm Ground Commander. My name's Kim Goguen. I'm here to save you all. That's the first thing to come up on every single screen. All of your cell phones should be able to put the message out to say, don't worry, we've got 120,000 angels here, but I ain't seen diddly squid. That's the thing.
Hang on. So if there's 120,000 angels that have come down, source angels, who are going to eliminate all these people. So that's 800,000 people that she's eliminating?
That was in 48 hours.
What's that, about 6.5 people apiece? They should have done that in no time.
She said within 48 hours they'd already taken out 800,000 bad people. Right. Then, when Sunny was asked, that Sunny Galt, the anchor lady, was saying, does that mean? She was saying, lines cover. She was saying, Kim, would that mean that she'd be taking out the families, the ruling families, like the Rothschilds? Yes, she said. So the Rothschilds should be gone now. But it's funny. But then ever so often after that, she mentions the Rothschilds and the ruling families, the Italian families and everything else. The pattern there, and that's the whole idea of this finale, was for us to capture key bits of her situation reports from the 15th of November right through to the 31st, and for people to see the pattern. And that pattern is the same pattern we've watched since we first started looking into her. And people don't see that pattern because she's got so much information she's putting out, and their minds are kind of exploding with all this like unbelievable information. They can't remember what she said a month ago, never mind 3 years ago, but we can because we're not in that program. We're not in that little cult that she's programming all the time, and you can't, you kind of like, you've got this hat on that stops you looking outside the box like we're doing. They can't do that. And that's what this video is about, is for them to see the pattern within that time. And we've put the dates in there for them to go back if they want, thinking that we've doctored it. We haven't. To see all this rubbish she's coming out with. And it's quite sad, really, because it is someone's mind. It's the mind of a mad person that needs, psychological help. They really do. She really believes this stuff, and it's just unbelievable. There's no proof. We've always asked for it.
Hang on, can we just stop there? I want to know what you boys think. Do you think, because we do know stuff that we've never made public, right? Do you think, like you just said there, Stevie, do you believe that she really does believe what she's saying? Like, she is mentally ill, She's getting voices in her head.
Yes.
Do you boys think she really believes what she's saying?
I think she's got some kind of schizophrenia or something like that. She's got multiple personalities, and she's nobody. All the people that have been around her have said they've never seen any kind of technology around her. She sits in a chair and she meditates, and all this information comes through, which is exactly the same as what Thomas Williams does. That is a sign of a mad person that can roll that off like that. There's a big difference between, I'll tell you what, I mean, I said it earlier on. When you go to see a clairvoyant in a I don't know, a group, and someone's giving off a message, they know what to say. They'll say a name that's very common and everything else, and they'll come out with the same crap. They'll never say, oh, there's a Jack Briggs here, and it's for you. And you go, oh my God, how did you know that? It's definitely for me. That's what Kim does. She'll never give off names. She never gives off 100% proof. Whatever she says, that is provable. And she'll say, it's all to do, it's out of this universe, it's on a 9th dimension level, which we can't see.
That's her skill of being a con artist, alongside the skill of being a con artist clairvoyant, because no doubt I do, well, I know for a fact, some clairvoyants are the real deal.
Yeah, I've seen some as well.
But there are probably, most of them are con artists as well. They know how to play the game, like you've just touched on.
Yeah.
And Kim knows how. You got to hand it to her. She's played this brilliantly. She's made an absolute fortune from it. The authorities don't want to go near her because she knows the boundaries. What she, if she goes too big, they probably will come onto her. But she's seen other cults withdraw or con millions out of their followers, and that it takes a hell of an effort to get them to be arrested and face criminal charges. So she knows she's working well within where she'll ever draw the attention from the likes of the FBI. So what do you think, Baz? Does she know what she's doing, or does she believe what she's saying is true? What do you think, mate?
I don't think she believes a word of it. if I'm honest,
Sorry,
I don't think she believes. I don't think she believes a word of it. I think she knows exactly what she's doing.
Right.
Maybe she goes into a mode where.
Hang on, before you go any further, I can't say, but think about the whistleblowers we've had and what we know what goes on, like, behind closed doors, and how she speaks to certain people in her life. How does that knit in with your belief that she doesn't, or she know what she's doing?
You were privy to that chat that I had with her.
Yeah.
Yes, she is a nutcase, but I think she's reasonably intelligent nutcase. I think she's very good at presenting information. I think she does think about it. I think she does plan it. I don't think it just comes off. It just rolls off the tongue with her.
Definitely.
It's difficult to talk about the things that we know because without giving things away, because we said we'd never put anybody in that position. Even though they were really close to her. Like really close to her.
Yeah,
she doesn't know how close to her.
We know a lot of stuff.
We do
know a lot of stuff.
We do. I mean, I contacted her, didn't I? And after, was it Jason in the Telegram group?
Yeah,
had a couple of chats with her. Though one night where I just messaged her. I got the link off him and just messaged her. And I honestly didn't think she'd answer. And as we know, she did. And just from the interactions and the replies that I got back from her, I just think she is a nutcase. I don't think she believes it. But I think she does have to put herself into a certain frame of mind when she's doing this. I think outside of that frame of mind,
or like an actor type role. You mean someone just switches on as a character?
Yes,
yeah.
Because when she goes down to a local store and buys a red wine, we know she does.
Yeah,
she doesn't bang on to the staff there that she's saving the world, and that can she put it on a tab because the saviour of the world just doesn't seem to have any money knocking around at the minute. And does she want to buy an IPTV? You know, she knows exactly what she's doing. I don't think anybody can function like they are doing if they believed everything they did. If they believed that they're in contact with other beings, that they believe that they're controlling or that they've summoned or whatever she's done, 120,000 fallen angels to come and rectify things. Because otherwise, when things weren't rectified, she should then, the penny would drop with her to say, hang on a minute, all these baddies are still there. They told me they were coming down to fix everything, and they've not come down to fix everything because they're still there, she's still there, that family over there is still there, CNN are still there, all these dodgy networks are all still there. What's gone wrong? The penny would drop, whereas all she does is rehash a story that they've put clones in place or whatever she's going to say, or that there are other families and they've been really well prepared of these families. Well, they've been waiting for this. They've taken some casualties, they've lost some of the baddies, but they've been training some of the younger ones up, and there's a new breed coming through, because that's all that's going to happen. It's just because it can't end. Because what are all these grifters going to do? They're not all suddenly just going to disappear off the planet. They're all going to change the stories if anything changes, which it won't. So it won't. Nothing will change. I'm absolutely 100% confident that nothing will change. And if it is, I'm wrong. I'm totally wrong, and I'll hold my hands up. I'll come and do a face-to-face video and apologise for misleading everybody, but I'll never have to do that. None of us.
And we'd love that to happen, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we would. It's a win-win, isn't it?
Yeah. Of course we would.
Yeah.
We'd love to be wrong.
Yeah.
But we've been saying this for, nearly 6 years now? We've been. Can
you imagine if we received a little bit of, like, we saw what she says, like we met the aliens and everything else? Do you think we'd still be making these videos? Or if the matter of fact that, come thinking on the other side, she thinks we've paid assets. That's probably why on that side. But yeah, if we had,
she knows we are. She knows we are. This is the thing, and this is where it all boils down to, that it's absolute bollocks for us. We know this because we are nothing of what she says we are.
Yeah. But yeah,
right,
go back. Go on, Leza.
So before we move on, so I'm sort of with you, Baz, on I think she knows what she's doing. But there's got to be some mental illness there, because we know she is in her own bubble. She is pretending to absolutely everybody that the world is how it is, to everybody outside of her own bubble. She's the only one inside that bubble. That's what I believe. She's lying to even her closest family member about. She's telling her closest family member that she is the whatever she claims she is. So there's got to be mental illness there. But I do believe she knows exactly what she's doing. But she's so screwed in the head, she will take it to that extreme. So all these grifters what come along, people like Tiny Williams, I believe he's screwed in the head as well, where he believes some of what she told him. Yeah. You know, these people with massive egos, when you got someone telling you, oh, you're wonderful, you are, I call you, I always, when I'm talking to my daughter about you, I refer to you as little Yoda. Can you imagine his ego? Whoa, yes, I love it. So then when she tells him, I'm going to give you the highest clearance ever, or the highest clearance on the planet. You are right behind me on the highest clearance. If they got the highest clearance, go in the White House. Go in the White House and reveal, go in the drawers and dig a file out or something and just show the world something that somebody with the highest clearance could only get hold of. Why ain't they never done that? Come on, again, think about it, people. It's not hard to arrive to the answer of that. What if they had the highest clearance? Why haven't they gone into the White House or gone into the CIA headquarters or wherever and gone into a file and dug out a piece of information that's being kept from the public, which she and we would want to know about? Why haven't they done that?
No, just a nice video.
Work it out, is it?
Just a nice little video with Kim and Tiny putting their arms around the council's heads and say, he's the alien ET council. That'd be quite nice. Them stepping onto a ship, going up into the universe.
That would destroy us overnight. Can you imagine if she'd just done a YouTube short with her cuddling up to ET? That would be Team Bubba's reputation gone. So,
that's it. And they've all got cell phones. So why is it so hard? Why can't she say, look, can I just take a little selfie with you just to prove some arseholes called Team Bubba, right? They give me a hard time. I can shut them up with this. Yeah, okay, yeah, all right. Ka-ching.
We just have to shut shop, wouldn't we? We'd have to YouTube channel down, Facebook channel down, everything gone, everything, delete the website, the whole lot will go.
Exactly. Yeah. There's just not been nothing. There's not one person listening to this show right now, this video, that can say they've seen evidence of something like that. There's not been anything. The only thing they've shown is a 6-foot bloody genealogy chart, right, which she had made up, and said it's like the ruling families of that run the planet, and that is it. There's nobody seen any other proof out of all the years. How long has this been going on? What's that, sorry?
Which you boys debunked.
Yes, that got debunked. But nearly everything. Oh, the kangaroo skin. Basil did that one. Kangaroo skin. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Well, she's adamant now that she doesn't live in that house, isn't she? Doesn't she? She live in the hotel from that film?
Was it? Yeah.
Well, they can't touch each other while they're on hotel grounds.
John Wick Hotel.
So,
yeah. That's the style of area she lives in. Oh, crikey.
Maybe she's doing it all from mental home. Maybe that's what she classes as being the hotel.
Yeah, because quite recently she's not able to show any video of herself. Maybe she's all strapped up,
She's tied to a bed.
Someone spoon feeding her. It's cruel.
I know we laugh about it, but
yeah,
we do laugh about it. But the flipping lives she's destroying.
We get to see a lot of emails and messages, don't we, from people that we can't really show any information. It's quite sad, isn't it? We've heard people, lose family members, as in like breaking up families, losing homes, businesses. It's just, I don't know, it's hard. But to some people, they don't see that as a big problem. They still think, oh, well, she's doing bigger things. That's going to save the world. That's collateral damage, basically. And you think, what? You can't, that's only the ones that are brave enough to have got a little bit of kind of like, that little bit of energy to try and come to us and say, look, I just want to let you know this is what's happened to me. There must be a lot of cases like that, victims.
Thousands.
Yeah.
It's thousands.
Mate.
That's another thing as well, all these people that that have worked for her that have either don't work for her anymore because they've been kicked out of the Telegram group. So those people that have put the trust in her and done a lot of work for her, and then when they ask her a question, she boots her out. But she boots them out.
Yeah.
removes them from the group, bans them, so they can't get in contact with them again. They can't join in. If she was everything she said she is, she wouldn't do that.
No.
If they asked questions, she'd tell them.
Exactly.
But she doesn't.
Yeah.
She just automatically block, remove. Who does that?
Exactly. And all those that have been removed from her team that were doing quite a lot of work, thousands of hours, a lot of them are too afraid to come forward because they know how hot-tempered she is. Yeah. The way that she reacts in Zoom calls and the threats, and they've seen what she's capable of doing to people, like, to their character, destroying their character. Not that she's got these superpowers. It's just the way she's able to dismantle someone's character. And you're talking people that get into this sort of thing are quite nice people. They're spiritual. They don't like confrontation. They're quite a particular type of person. We know that. We were in groups. We used to talk to people in THI. They were really nice people. They won't be out there looking for fights and aggression and stuff like that. They are very nice people, and they get taken advantage of, and that's what she does. They leave. They get booted out. They just go, okay, I better move on. And they don't want to come to us because they're thinking, if Kim gets to find out, what will she do to me? But it's mad, absolute mad.
It is.
Did we want to talk a little bit about Billy before we move on, who was core member?
Yeah.
Does anyone want to cover that, or do you want to start on that?
I think as is it probably won't be. I mean, we're bound to do a podcast somewhere along the line in the future. But this is officially the end. So I mean, we got to talk about Billy, haven't we? He's been a massive part of our journey.
Yeah.
So basically, thank him. Really, need to thank him for what he did. But I suppose we should just explain why he's not with us in this podcast.
Yeah.
And so do one of you boys want to explain it?
I think
me to do it?
I'll put my bit in. I mean, as people that have listened to our other podcasts will know that Billy was a core member of this team, and not just a core member, he was also a friend and still is. But we find what we do is very stressful and are very upsetting sometimes when we get to hear what's happening to people's lives and they're being destroyed, and you try to avoid any kind of negativity as much as you can, but doing what we do, we can't. It's just unavoidable. It's just the amount of not just abuse, but I'm not complaining about that, it's expected, but when you see people getting destroyed and it just becomes too much. And we've always said, didn't we, that this is a group that's open and people come and go whenever they like, and he just come to a point where I think Billy wanted to, I thought, I just can't do this anymore, and so right to him. I mean, I that's why we're doing what we're doing now. We just feel we've done enough now, and Billy thought he contributed enough, and he has done fantastic work, and not just that, but outside of Team Bubba, he's the support individually he's given to us, as a friend was massive. So for my side of it, he's done well coming out of that time, and he's focusing on private life. That's how I saw it.
Yeah, I mean, it is heavy stuff that.
Yeah.
Well, being this side of the fence is heavy anyway. Taking Kim out of the situation, just what's going on in the world, Billy, from what I can gather, Billy didn't just remove himself from Team Bubba. He removed himself from a lot of what's going on in the world as well. And like you said, Stevie, he wanted to concentrate he wanted to concentrate on family life. You can't blame him for that.
No.
And it's like when people, it's a little bit like when people manage to get themselves out of the cult, whether it be Simon Park's cult, Kim's cult, Tiny's cult. When they get out, almost everybody gets out and goes. They don't want to hang around and try and A, stop new people falling for it, and B, try and get who's left in there out as well. Most people just so embarrassed that they fell for it, and they just get out of there, don't they? There's not many stick around and want to do what we've done or help us do what we've done. Billy, to be fair, he did. He stuck around. He did what he did. He was involved in a lot of good stuff we did, but he was sort of telling us for quite a while he was struggling with it. That it's so negative. This is what people don't realise. You've gone through it in video, Stevie. It's very obvious we're not working for whoever they say we're working for, so we're not getting paid to do this. And you've shown our analytics. We're not getting no money from YouTube. It's all done simply to try and help other people get out of these cults and stop new ones falling into them. That's the only reason we've done what we've done. It is. And Billy, eventually it did become too much. The scales tipped over and he had to step back from it. So, yeah, thanks, Billy, for what you've done, mate. I hope you're doing okay. I'm sure you are. And, so...
All his work was greatly
What do you want to
appreciated.
say, Baz?
All his work was greatly appreciated. He's a good friend. Sad to see him go. It was sad to see him leave the group.
Yeah, no, totally. And I think where we are today was all of the core members have contributed in a mass amount. I know before I was in there, Billy was in there. So the things he did, he rattled a few cages and things like that. It was quite funny what he did, pissing a few people off. And I mean, I just thought we agreed we had to speak about that, and I'm glad that we did, because with this being the last podcast, it's we're going to say a few thanks later on anyway to people that have contributed it outside of Team Bubba as well. So, but yeah, no, I'm going to see one now. Yeah, go on.
Can we just have a mention to what name did they use? Side Salad Gavin, did it?
Oh yes, sorry. Yeah, you guys. Yeah.
Side. Yes. Yeah.
There was a member. We've probably only referred to them a couple of times. I don't think she'd mind if we gave her a gender. But yeah, she was one of those that started right at the very beginning. And she helped us with the direction that we were going in and the things that we were looking at. I don't think she'll mind us tipping us out to her.
No,
she hasn't been in Team Bubba for a long time, has she? But she failed early doors.
Yeah, she basically got to the point where Billy got to, where she wanted it to continue. She wanted these con artists to be exposed, but it just weren't worth what they'd say life force energy. It weren't worth it.
No.
And that is the problem. That this is part of the skill of being a grifter. They know that even when people work them out, they won't put the effort in to expose them, because it's just not worth their life force energy. And this is why they keep going. If we lived in a fair world, the authorities would be on top of these and doing them for fraud, because it's basically what it is, fraud. They're conning people out of money.
Yeah.
That they play on the way to get away with it is people are donating money to them. They're not stealing it, but they're not. But the bit what get me is they're making out the stories they're telling people are real. If they was to say straight off, right, I'm now going to tell you a story. This is completely fictional. This is not real. All right. I'm not really controlling the world. I'm not really jetting off and having meetings with ETs, but I'm now going to tell you a story. And at the end of it, I'm going to ask you to donate some money to me. And if you do,
buy me coffee.
Happy days. If she did that, no one can complain. But she's not. No. She's making out it's all real. And that's the fine line between law-abiding and it being a crime. And because it's right hovering on that line, the authorities won't do nothing.
No, exactly.
And that's where all these grifters operate, on that fine line.
That's right. And she's also operating a system where she's getting people to do all the background work for free, thousands of hours. So they've also been scams. And she's making buckets, hundreds of thousands a month. By
doing that puts so many layers into the scam, it makes it more believable. Because the more people that are involved, it must be real. There's no way, thousands of people would fall for this. It must be real. And it just makes the scam more believable.
Exactly.
So the bigger they get, the harder it is for people to, once they've fallen into the cult, it makes it harder for them to get out, really.
Yeah.
But then we got Tiny Williams.
It's real fact. Thought we built this.
Oh, what a joke he's become. Honestly, his cult would struggle to fill a village hall. Well,
what's left of it?
Struggle to fill a phone box, really, wouldn't it? Oh, my, that's embarrassing. It is embarrassing.
We did a good job there. That was what we started off to do, and I think we did a good job there. And I think that's why we've never really gone back to him, because the damage is done. I think
we've smashed him into oblivion. He's smashed up. He is. He's an embarrassment.
He's actually. I was going to say he's come to a good time to do the highlights of you mentioned Tiny, and I thought I was going to ask you what's your highlights been of being a core member of Team Bubba. Did you want to go first, Lazar?
Well, my highlight was when Tiny told everyone to disable their permissions on their phone for all the apps. So, like, if you got like a Facebook app and you have to tick the box where it says permission to use your camera or your gallery and all that sort of stuff. No, turn that off. And they done this for all their apps. And then all of a sudden the phones were blowing up. Nothing would work, obviously.
They couldn't ring anybody.
And everyone was going mad. I can't log into Facebook. I can't do this. MeWe's going all crazy. I'm having to go on my computer to do it. My next door neighbour's phone I'm on my next door neighbour's phone. They were going mad for about 2 days, and about a few people were saying, I've got to go out and buy a new phone tomorrow. And someone, what really done me, because I was literally laughing about this for 3 days solid. I was on the floor rolling, and someone said, Thomas, can you please help me here? You know, you've told us to do this. My phone is doing this, and this. What do I do? And he just went, no idea. And then straight on to another subject. And I just thought, that sums him up. That completely sums that man up. He doesn't give a stuff about him. Doesn't give a stuff. But that, for me, was the funniest thing I've ever seen regarding all this lot. It was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
That's how he got the nickname Techo, wasn't it? Techo.
Yeah, we called him Techo for a while after that. I mean, what on earth was he thinking? Because they're spying on you. Don't give them permission to spy on you. Oh, if they were spying on you, do you think they'd ask you permission, Tiny? Do you think they'd ask you all permission so they could spy on you? Really? So for me, that was my highlight. What about you, Baz?
Yeah, Baz, what you got?
I think there's two that I've thought about today. I think the first one was right at the very beginning when I was going on Spreaker, and all I can imagine is that he must have just been looking every single time in the chat on Spreaker and just thinking, oh, for fuck's sake, not him again. Because I must have set up about 40 accounts. Every time I got banned, I'd set up another account, another email address, and then I'd comment again, and he would remove my comments. I'd go back on straight away as another account, and he must have hated it. Absolutely hated it. And go.
We devised a plan because we knew when he went to bed, didn't we? So you'd drop all the bombs after
when he's gone to bed.
Well, that's it. I was getting up at what 5 o'clock in the morning anyway for work and stuff. But so he'd only just gone to bed by then, hadn't he? So I had that whole morning there just to hammer him on Spreaker, and I just know that he must have been tearing his hair out. It must have really been doing his head in. Yeah, I took a lot of pleasure out of that one, and I think the other one is when he started using Thursday, and we started ripping the shit out of him with the Alex and the Thor,
the meme,
and yeah, we were really childish, and I think that made it more and more fun. We needed little things to get us through all of this, didn't we? And that was one.
You've got to put the meme up, Stevie, while he's telling this story.
Oh, yeah, I will do.
The little toy hammer and everything. It was just, and the droopy one as well, weren't there? Because there was some sort of sexual keeper-upper ointment, and he used to call it Thursday, and it was called Thor, I think, wasn't it? And we found this stuff, and we did a droopy hammer because it obviously weren't working for him because he was enough people on his show. Oh, it was just, yeah. There's just something, sometimes there's just something that just absolutely destroys me, and that's one of the times.
There's been so many, though, haven't they?
We have had some fun. We've set them up.
I guess on a serious note, one of the better things that happened were the whistleblowers. Probably the main one for Tiny, and I guess the first proper one for Kim, because it gave us a total insight, and it, we're all pretty good researchers. We found a lot of stuff out. Some of the stuff we found on the deep web that you can't get through Google. Some of the documents we found that people haven't been able to find before. The stuff about his family, the stuff about him being in a hospital, the stuff about, and then when we were told about what he used to do to his friends and how he tricked them and conned them out of money. Great things to know,
yeah,
but not a great thing to have the realization of what he's actually done to those people that were close to him. Yeah. It's a different thing when he's doing it to people on the other side of the world, but when he's done it to people who live in the same area as him, the same street as him, that's when you know the scumbags.
Yeah, what we're talking about is everyday cons, not online cons here. Practical cons. Old school cons.
Yeah. No, that's right. Yeah, we've heard some things, haven't we?
So what about you, Stevie?
Online,
what's your highlight, Stevie?
I was thinking about it before doing this video, and there were just so many. But I think the first one's got to be the first time when Tank got involved. We didn't know that Thomas Williams was pretty pissed off about that. But do you remember when he put an announcement out saying Kim didn't want anything to do with anymore because he announced something on the show saying that Kim wanted to be the president and he was going to get done for some kind of treason or something. And on the show, he was kind of like near enough crying. And we didn't hear from him, did we, in the group for like, but was it weeks? He says, I'm going up a mountain or something like that to go and think about what I'm going to do next.
That was when Tank come on board, weren't it?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
time.
It was Tank.
That's
Tank
why he was
out.
crying.
Yeah,
that's why he was crying.
So
I'll tell you what, boys. I'll tell you what. He must go to bed crying every night because he done all the groundwork for about 4 years, didn't he? About 4 years, he spent like doing a weekly show, putting Kim's intel out, and then just as she was about to hit the big time, she dumped him. He would have got half of everything, and she dumped him. You ain't getting nothing, Thomas.
Yeah, 100k or whatever it is plus a month.
And we called it, didn't we?
Yeah.
We called it. She dumped him in about the April-May time. It was all
just after his birthday. Just after his birthday.
It was all quiet on the Western Front, and we sussed after a few weeks. There's something going on here because he's not mentioning Kim. She's just disappeared off the face of the planet. And then he strung it out till about August, didn't he? Because we kept banging out, Kim's gone. Their relationships ended. And then eventually he had to admit that they had gone their separate ways. And then he come out with a bloody story. And then she come out with her version. And, well, we all know what happened. That was another great thing, wasn't it?
That was the other highlight. I was going to say is when either Kim or Tank or even Thomas put out that Universal Network message saying that she didn't want nothing to do with him anymore because he was on using the same web servers as Team Bubba in Lithuania for trafficking and that. And I just thought, gosh,
that's right.
And then the way he triggered off, he said that she's a scammer, didn't he? Everything, didn't he? The words he was putting out. We've put that in a video. Yeah. And then not long after, Kim, this is the last highlight of the things, Kim does a show with Chris Rice TV, and she admitted that Thomas Williams didn't like Kim, and he still trashes her because he wanted to sleep with her, and she said no. I just thought, oh my gosh, can you imagine the sight of that? Oh yeah, but no, there was some really good highlights, like you guys have covered.
We've had some laughs over that. We reckon he did a Frank Butcher, didn't we? That scene out of EastEnders when was it Pat in the kitchen and she turned around and Frank Butcher's there with his big cheesy grin and his a bow tie spinning around.
That's all he got on.
I reckon when Kim was cutting the birthday cake, when she turned around to present it to Tiny, there he was replicating Frank Butcher
in his birthday suit.
You'll have to put a reference picture up for that for people to understand that.
Over.
In his Chippendale suit.
Relationship is over. Oh dear.
Oh, there's been some classics though. But like I say, I would like a serious note as well. Is another highlight is if it weren't for this group, I wouldn't have met you guys as friends. You know, we wouldn't have met each other, would we?
No.
And we are good friends exactly. So
yeah,
so some really good stuff's come out of it from our side, personal wise, and also, I suppose the biggest highlight is that we've had some people come back and say, you know, thank you. The thanks we've had where they believe it's actually woken them up, and even if it just saves a couple of people what we've done, it's been worthwhile because we don't know what that would have caused them throughout life. It's like that sliding door effect, isn't it? You know, if you go down that,
we still get it now, don't we?
Yeah. So it's not been.
We've helped a lot of people. I mean, again, most people we've helped will be silent about it. They will wake up and they will just move on, which is the whole purpose. We don't want them to really make a big announcement, but that's just human nature. Most people think, crikey, I was scammed, feel daft, but there we are, move on.
Yeah, and there's also a little bit of shame thing with it, isn't they? When you feel you're being made fun out of, they just feel, they can't really live up to it, and to some people it's too much, and it lives with you, doesn't it? That you've told all your friends, all your family, there's some, I don't know, Jubilee thing coming, or no matter what scammer you've been scammed off of, there's collateral accounts, we're all going to be, there's the revaluation's going to happen, or Kim's here with 120,000 angels. Can you imagine telling that to your buddies at work or to your family? Because that's what they do.
Do you reckon they are, though, now? Do you think
people
even
are.
the most, they're telling them that?
Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. They do.
They're gone. Can they be saved, them sort of people?
I think, especially the ones I've just recently woken up, it's like, I remember, right, even before I got involved with Thomas Williams, I was following, I've told you, the Dinar people, the Gary Larrabees, even Tank and all them, loads. It's like what they say, you get involved with one group that you follow, then you move into another group, and then you move up, and it just keeps going on and on and on. And eventually, until you realise that the only reason why you're really in them groups is because of the social side, and that those people are like-minded like you. You want to talk about things that you believe in. But unfortunately, you've got people that take advantage of that, and they'll rip you off and use you. And that's what happens. That's the negative part of it. And I think you're always going to get people like that. And then they go and tell their friends. You imagine what Thomas Williams says. Go and tell your friends to pay $1 a month into our, into their little cult thing. Well, why would you do that? Why would you go and tell your family to pay $1 a month when they don't even know who Thomas Williams is? If he's getting them to tell them to do that, why they're going to say why? Oh, because Thomas Williams said this, that, the other. And then when they really find out, exactly, there's that laugh. And what does it do? It causes division, and the family's friends break up, and that's how it does it. You get separated from the last few friends that probably actually real-lifely grounded you in this toxic world that we live in. You've got to kind of hang on to a little bit of your real life, haven't you? Even though you want to believe there's something better out there. And I believe, don't forget, people need to understand that, we're not, it's not the fact that we're looking into Thomas Williams and Kim as not believing in anything's changing the world. We're quite, we are waking people up. We are woken people. We're not following what's on news and believe what our governments tell us and stuff like that. We're critical thinkers. We do look and research into things ourselves. So we're not the typical, like, what they were being accused of is someone that is closed, that are not open-minded and believe there's something good in this life. We're just hanging on to that, what we've got is what we've got. We do believe in other things in this planet, what's going on in this planet. And I don't think a lot of people can understand that, because they see Team Bubba as to someone that is calling someone out that's trying to change the world, and they're not. But
that's the funny thing. You get people who get in the comments and say stuff to us, and we're like, we covered that 10 years ago, and you think you're ahead of us, and you think you know better. You think Kim's this, Tiny's that. Well, you're years behind. We went through all that years ago, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
It's embarrassing.
No,
but I suppose it's the process, isn't it? And again, fall back to this is the grifters. They know how to play the process. They know the cycle, and they just jump in where they need to jump in and exploit people. Yeah. It is a skill. You got to hand it to them. That they're good at what they do. Conning people.
Yeah, it's this little system they use and a script, and they know how to latch on. They've used the truth community because they know how to deal with us, just like they do with the UFO community and all the other communities. They know how to latch onto them, pull them in. That's why Kim's always gone to these people that are into UFOs or into like Trump or into the crypto or whatever, and she's nicking their supporters. That's how she's doing it, because she's thinking of subscriptions at the end of the day.
It's sort of like digital pickpocketing. It's a skill.
It is.
It is a skill. They can digitally pickpocket people to give them their money. Although you're taking money without them knowing, people are handing their. It's like they become hypnotized by them. Oh, take my money, Kim. Have it. Here's $100 a month. Take it. Please take it. It's like hypnosis, and that is a skill.
Off each other as well.
You got handed to her. Yeah. They see what other grifters are doing. Oh, that works. I'll have a go at that. And then, oh yeah, that works. And they're all
break away. Go off on their own.
Yeah,
exactly.
But they're good at what they do. It is almost like a craft. It's like a craft. Learning a craft and being able to deliver it. And part of that craft is knowing how to keep the law away. So staying within that grey area of, is it a crime, is it fraud or not?
Yeah.
And you have to hand it to them. They're good at it. I mean, the numbers Kim's churning out is...
Yeah.
If any rational person would think, do you know what, I've had a good run at this, I've made a load of money, I'm going to get out all I can. But she won't, because she is mentally ill.
Yeah, and she likes the fame as well of it. She likes the fame.
But the problem, I think, any rational mind would be thinking, I'm hurting people here. I'm destroying people's lives. One day, there could be a knock on the door, and I could open that door, and I'll leave you guys to imagine what could happen. Because she is literally destroying thousands of people's lives. And the bigger that number get, the more chance that when she opened that door, you know what could happen.
Yeah, that's right.
You've got to be a bit crazy to want to play that game, if you know what I mean.
That's right.
You want to play it.
You'd be afraid of walking down to the shops, wouldn't you? Thinking someone might come up to you. Yeah.
Just somebody will always find out where you live. I mean, look what we found out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, I wanted to try and wrap things up soon, unless if I just wanted to look at those that we want to thank for helping us throughout, the whole Team Bubba journey. Really, some of the persons that I've made note here, and you can add to it if you want, guys, is likes of like Randy Morgan's. Although Randy was kind of like sucked into it with Thomas Williams and then Kim, he also helped expose Thomas Williams when he realised that they couldn't provide any proof in the end of any kind of trust or anything that Kim was saying. And we've seen it through emails and even through his own admission that he was scammed, fooled by Thomas Williams, and he wanted to put things right. So that's how he come into the Team Bubba chat and explained to people his side of things. So, and that's why, we did a little video of him thanking him for that. The other one was Jimmy Brent, that sadly passed away quite recently. Although we kind of thought at the beginning he was, again, sucked into the Thomas Williams thing, but we didn't realise that all along he was just trying to get them to speak out on live onto his channel. And in the background, he was talking to the likes of Sean Bales, the Shane the Runer, where they've also interviewed each other.
So what's our best bet at this point? We just keep talking and keep trying to share the information as much as possible?
Well, that's important. I'm not saying anyone should stop doing that, but a fundamental mistake that we're looking at that is holding us back is we keep looking for the savior. Mm-hmm. We keep looking for it in the Donald Trumps and the Putins and the alliances and the blue avians and the Universal Protective Unit and
the
all
Jesuses.
of these, and the Jesuses and all of these different, memes and groups and things that keep popping up. The ambassador, at this point in time, call me up, dude. Argue with me. Any of you, call me up, argue with me. I'm sitting at a table right now. Change my mind.
Right. I love that meme.
Yeah, I'm glad you got that.
Yeah.
Change my mind, guys. It's been a long time. I told you off air. I made a podcast years ago at this point in time where I said that if any of these little schemes that everyone was going on about back then, and it is still going on about today, did not come to fruition by 2018, that I was going to walk away from this little party. I didn't keep to my word. I'm still here. But 2018 was 2 years ago. And guess what, guys? None of your clubs, none of your projects, none of your anything have done anything. Seriously, I'm right here. Argue with me. You can come on my podcast. I'll come on yours. I'm open to everybody. Go ahead, argue with me. Tell me any of you have done anything. All that money you're collecting from your audience, what are you fucking doing with it other than living off of it? Mm-hmm. Go ahead, argue with me. I've been through what I've been through. I know what is real in terms of what I've been through and what I haven't been through. And none of you can really say much to me at this point in time, and I would love for any of you to change my mind, and I'm giving you that opportunity. So here's an open challenge to anyone speaking out there. Come change my mind. Tell me that there's some type of group out there that is benevolently going to interject money back into the system to save us all. Prove it to me. You've had years now.
Or stop the bad guys from jacking us over, right?
Or anything. Or show me a Donald Trump who's actually standing up for you. Donald Trump is the closest thing you've had. At least he's told some truth.
Yeah.
Right? And he's not doing it because he's a benevolent force. He's doing it because he is exactly what he's advertised as. He's a moron. and that's it. He's so stupid that he doesn't understand the consequences of telling the truth, and he's just going to tell the truth. It's not because he loves you. It's not because he's part of some kind of light brotherhood that's going to enable you or liberate you for anything, and no one's coming along with any Federal Reserves to back you out either. None of this is real. Stop believing in it. Stop buying in it. They call me the ruiner for a reason, and I'm here to ruin this fucking bullshit within our own community. Yeah. And not only that, but anybody who sells that narrative, they are also the first person to tell everyone else that they're full of shit. Even if I believe I'm full of shit, do I go or someone is full of shit, do I go screaming from the rooftops? No, I'll answer the question if I'm asked point blank, but do I have to go advertise it? Do I write blogs to tell everyone that anybody is anything? No, I don't. If you ask me, I might tell you. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to share my opinion, but I don't go that other direction. Why don't I go that other direction? Because I don't have a financial investment in this.
Well, that seems to be the thing that so many of these people, and some of them may have started out with good intentions, but as soon as they smell the money, it just seems to just corrupt the hell out of people, and all of a sudden the money becomes the target and not the truth anymore, or not having good intentions, for humanity in some way. It becomes, gee, I made X amount of money. How can I make 10 times that now? What kind of a story can I come up with? What kind of a thing can I launch that will get me there?
Exactly. And for someone who's lived through what your audience actually wants to hear, from someone who is actually the type of person you might put on your show in order to get that kind of income. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you, Jimmy. Don't take it personally.
No, I know what you're saying.
As one of those people, my middle finger's up. Fuck you. Don't do that to people.
Right.
Don't do that to people. Don't do that to people. Everybody who's listening to me right now is a beautiful human being who deserves a lot more of your respect and love and appreciation than that. Don't do that to people. Corey Good, don't do that to people. It's about time you stop. And anyone else who's following his MO, as referenced earlier, stop doing it, please. These people are good people. They deserve better than you.
Yeah. Deserve to know the truth, and sometimes the truth isn't what we want. Well, most of the time the truth is not what we want to hear. It's not the easy road. It's just not, it's not fancy, and it doesn't update weekly. Right.
You know what I mean? Like
the same.
It just doesn't. Like even if you are a deep-seated Illuminati agent, you're not going to be able to produce a weekly radio show with new insider information because information doesn't progress like that.
Yeah.
Like whoever thought that was logical? Like, you know, which one of you tuning into a weekly broadcast thinks that there could be a weekly drip of new information? No. You know, it takes these guys more than a week just to have like half of the conversation that might lead to a drip of information.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about years. You're talking about people who plan things out over hundreds and thousands of years. You think that any one of those members could give you a weekly broadcast, you're insane. So if you think that someone standing outside of this can give you a weekly broadcast with brand new information that they gleaned from wherever the fuck, that makes you as stupid as the people who are trying to control you. Like you really need to look at yourself in the mirror and think, what the fuck am I doing here?
Well, we all know Jimmy Brent had on his show, which opened a massive hole for us, which was Ava Cowan. And he managed to get her to do her little bit on the show where she speaks the light language, which then confirmed everything we said, that the ET show they had, the UPU, was utter bullshit, and that Ava was the one who was doing the acting of talking like an alien on that show, and that there wasn't any aliens talking, and it was exactly the same person. And straight, not long after that, Ava was booted out of the whole of that group because it's either her way of coming clean and doing it, I don't know, but Jimmy Brent was the one that allowed the platform for her to come out and do her bit.
Well, that was a highlight, really. Massive highlight, that was.
Yeah.
But I just want to say a little bit about Randy. I got a huge amount of respect for what Randy did, because he really did go all in. He went all in on Tiny and Kim, even to the point where he was attacking us. He fell down the line of, oh, don't listen to them. They're just, peas. I won't say the word. I think you did say the word earlier, but I normally get flagged up, don't it? But they are Lithuanian, whatever, and don't listen to them. And he was big enough when he realised he'd got it wrong. He was big enough to not only step back from it all, he actually went public and admitted he'd got it wrong. And that takes I mean, it's hard enough to admit, just a normal person, just to admit they got it wrong and come into our group and say we got it wrong. But to actually someone of his stature, who's had a radio show for however decades, wasn't it? Decades he's been going, to actually come back and pull back from it all and say, do you know what, guys, I got it wrong. I was conned just like all you lot were. And I hold my hands up and I'm sorry. For me, that was massive. So much respect for that man for doing that. Really did.
Yeah, it takes a lot to do that, doesn't it? Because his reputation.
Yeah, he didn't have to do it. He didn't have to do it. No. But he did. And most people in his position wouldn't have done. They would do what they normally do, just do not mention it again, and we'll move on to another subject. Yeah. My followers will keep following me, but he didn't. He actually fought back a bit, and he helped us. And that took a lot for him to do that. And I've got a lot of respect for him.
And what happened to him when he did that? He got Thomas Williams saying, oh, now Randy Morgan is a paid asset. Not just Randy, but so's Jimmy Brent and Shane Bales, because they called him
turned to the dark side.
Yeah. They've all been, and then he just did near enough a whole show on them, saying bad things about Shane Arun, who was supposed to be his friend. Randy Morgan's, he used to remember, you put that song on. Remember that song you used to always play about? Something is my brother.
That was Tiny, wasn't it? That was Tiny.
Tiny did,
What that was, Randy had worked out that he'd got it wrong. They were con artists, and that was from the time where he last was in contact with them. So it's between when he last had contact with them and when he came into Team Bubba and then put that public statement out. It's probably 4 or 5 months. I think he did a show with them in the November, and then he backed away straight away after that show because he knew Kim was lying, basically. And then I think, reading between the lines, he had a look at stuff that we presented him with, realised that, yeah, they're con artists. Team Bubba are not what they claim they are. Sorry, Team Bubba are not what Kim claims they are, Kim and Tiny. They've been lying. He had a look at other stuff, realised he'd been conned, and then at Christmas time, in the Christmas or the New Year's roundup, that was when Tiny basically was almost pleading with Randy to come back. You're my brother, and he was almost crying.
He was.
And he put that song out. He put that song out, and then I think it was round about the March time. Randy then went public and admitted he'd got it wrong.
Yeah.
And basically held his hands
you're
up.
right there. Yeah, that's right. That's that song, is it? He ain't heavy, he's my brother.
Yeah.
No, brilliant. That's brilliant. But yeah.
If you could dig that out and put on here, that'd be brilliant.
I don't think that definitely
that'd be
done,
hilarious.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious. We've probably got the clip somewhere on our Facebook group.
I could
Definitely
put the oh no, he's somewhere. That'd be good, wouldn't it? But yeah, like I say, Shane Bales was, yelped. He went on to Jimmy Brent's show and started talking about Tiny stop with his what was it called, the club TB. Well, I can't forget what's it called again. His little foundation,
People's Club.
The People's Club, saying stop taking people's money and things like that. And not long after that, Tiny come out and went blah blah blah. Shane Bales, and then Shane did another one follow up, and then of course Shane did the little interview with Kim, and I thought it was really clever because he got Kim to show around her house what her house was like, and it 100% confirmed. We knew exactly where she lived. We knew exactly, and it confirmed all our whistleblowers what they'd said, where she lived and everything about that place, and how much she pays a month rent and stuff. And you think, wow. So there are little things that people do that have helped us, and of course our Team Bubba followers, ones that have kind of stayed around in our in the Facebook page and the Telegrams. We're going to keep those social media platforms open, and of course things like the YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey for the videos, they're all still going to be there. And if people want to get in contact with us, we've still got the same media channel, like email, messages, and like I say, if you want to join the Telegram group, you always get one of us on there. Like, can answer back to you and stuff. And there's other people in there you can talk to too. So it's not the end.
So let's just get this absolutely clear. So where are we standing? So if someone's got some killer information, do we want them to share it with us?
I think so. And I think there's no...
We want to know, don't we? Even if we don't make it public.
Yeah.
We still want to know. I'm still in Tiny's cult, and I go in there every day and see if anything's worth pulling out, and I'll continue to do that. We won't make it public, but unless it's something killer. But
if we get little bits that maybe we can stick it in the Telegram group for a bit of a laugh, or just to show people that what's going on. That kind of thing. But it's not going to be as active as it was, and it's definitely ain't going to be no videos, like you said, unless it's killer information. That's going to add to what we've already put out. But that's how I stand on it as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add to this, guys?
It's sad. I must say, it's sad.
You're a bit emotional there, Lazar. A little bit tear there, mate.
I do sort of feel
I'm same. I've gone a bit quiet. I'm same.
I feel like, boys, we ain't spoke about this, but I don't think we should completely shut down. I think we should carry on, but on another subject.
Okay.
Maybe do a podcast once a month once a month
right.
about a completely separate subject. You know, whether it be like, I know we're all interested in like historical buildings, how they built them. How on earth could, like 1,000 years ago, with no power tools, did they build all these amazing buildings? Things like that.
Yeah,
Maybe do a podcast on something like that. It's not really even tinfoil stuff, that is it? It's just common sense. When you look at some of these cathedrals,
supplements, there's all sorts.
Yeah, health, touch on health stuff, because we're all sort of involved in that, in the alternative health stuff, which a lot of people are over our side of the fence.
No, exactly.
We're all been in it years.
That's right. All we're doing is just closing a little chapter of the tiny Kimbo thing.
Maybe that
something else.
Maybe if we do that, that will help cement the belief that we are just normal people when we are not what Kim said we are.
Sounds quite a good.
We're just normal people who woke up. I mean, I woke up 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Or 11 years ago now. I know you boys been awake even longer than that. So we've been awake to the wrongs of this world all this time. And I think it'd be a shame now we've got a little bit of a following. We don't actually share our.
Well, what could do about there might be certain subjects we can't cover if it's shown on YouTube. We could point, like, see if we do it on Rumble or whatever, because there are things that's happened in the last few years that, you know, what's happened to us during the Rona and things like that. You know, we could probably talk about that as well, you know, and what's changed, what happened then during that time, and what you see today and what we experience. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Let people know that what we really were like, and it would cement in that we've always said along, we're not in this. We're not paid assets. We're nothing else apart from a group of people that have got together, and, you know, we just want to help put the message out there that, you know, you've been fooled, basically, scammed. Yeah, sounds good to me.
I'd like to do that. I'd like to do that. As soon as I put the old headphones on and got in front of the mic, I just like, yes, this is good. I like this.
You like it.
I've missed this. I've missed it.
So we could do that. We'll restrict it to an hour.
Yeah.
Instead of
just
the
maybe
2
one
hours,
a month.
you could easily rumble on. Yeah.
Just maybe do one a month.
All right, I can do that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, maybe someone could chuck some suggestions in the comment section what we can talk about, what they'd like to know about us, you know, or not personal, but our thoughts on things. We can do some chats.
Yeah, because like I say, we've been awake a long while. We've been down pretty much every rabbit hole there is. Yeah. We have got a lot of knowledge about stuff. Exactly. I've forgotten more than I know, to be honest. Especially on the alternative health side. I've forgotten so much about stuff. But then that's constantly changing anyway. So,
that's right. Yeah.
I think we should. I think we should keep the Team Bubba fires just simmering away, just the embers burning. I don't think they should be extinguished.
Okay, but we're just turning a different page, aren't we? That's all it is.
Yeah. I think we should just start a new chapter. But if we need to, we can come back and fire everything we've got at them. If they're there for the taking, like Tiny Kim, something come up that if we was to make something public, that'd be the end of them. Boom, we're there. The audience is still there. Yeah. We can just take them out. I think that's what we should do.
Well, sounds good. I'm up for that.
Yep. Me too.
All right, guys. Shall we wrap up now then? Yeah. Been going for an hour and 20 minutes or so. Yeah. Is there anything, Ed, to add to it before we close off?
Well, just thank everybody who has got involved with us over the years, helped us, shared information, got in the in our groups, bantered with us, just got to know us, because we have made friends along the way. We've made friends and we've parted, you know, with people, you know, especially in the Facebook group. We made loads of friends in there. Yeah, there was so much. There was as much activity went on in that Facebook group behind the scenes in private group messages than there was actually on the page. People have no idea. But we had so many different group chats going on with different groups of members trying to sort different things out and find this, that you find that out, we'll find this out. And we would try to put it all together. So much went on, and we made so many friends during them times. And I just want to thank all them people, really, because that was what really got us going. That was what got us going.
Yeah, I totally agree, mate. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks everyone, and thanks to you, Bazza. Been stars,
thank you, Stevie. Because this would have shut down a long ago if it weren't for you.
It would.
Well, I think
me and Baz put so much into it in them early couple of years. We burnt ourselves out, didn't we, Baz? I did. I definitely burnt out. I just couldn't do it no more.
Yeah,
I just couldn't do it no more. And you literally took the baton on Stevie and went another.
I think for me, I just looked at it as a hobby. I've just thought, it's something to do. I enjoyed making videos and letting people know a bit more about, they only just saw Team Bubba as as a tarnished image led by a couple of idiots, and they needed to know some more facts. And I just thought we'd do that. And I just if we just spoke about it, I just thought, well, now's time. We've done enough, and it's time to move on to something else. And I think your suggestion, talking about other things in monthly videos, is a great way to move on, I think. Yeah.
A new chapter.
All right. New chapter. All right then, guys. Thanks very much.
Yes, thank you, boys.
Enjoy the rest of your evening, and thanks everyone for tuning in, and leave some comments, like and subscribe. We've not done yet, have we, guys?
No, Team Bubba are not finished.
There you go. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Cheers, guys.
Just one more thing to add, that if there's anybody out there that would like to continue our work, then please message us if you want some information. You're more than happy to use our content, and of course we'd support you in any way we can, especially promoting you on our platforms. I'm sure there's a few of you out there who are quite eager to look into Kim and Thomas Williams a bit more. There's plenty of information out there, and like I said, if you need our help, then please message us. Apart from that, Happy New Year to everybody, and we'll speak to you again very soon. Bye bye.